Greetings once again. My name is John Gabriel, and this is the new Calculus channel. So today, what I'm going to do is a special video. It's basically me searching for a number of sites that describe the concept of number. So I'll show you how I did it, and then I'll talk about all the misconceptions and the problems that children as well as adults and everybody else has in learning what is a concept of number. So let's begin. This video might be a little long, so get yourself a cup of coffee or tea, sit down and relax. Let's get started. So what I did was I googled understanding the concept of number, and the first one that comes up is of course that humongous and ridiculous site, which is Khan Academy. And you can tell from the first paragraph that they have no clue. They have no clue about numbers. They don't understand how to derive a number or any of those things. So they just dive straight into the first paragraph, which says, have you noticed that the sum of two even integers is always even? Or how only integers ending with a 5 or a 0 are divisible by 5? So you see, before they've even defined what it means to be a number. Okay, so this site is absolute garbage, and by the way, it's the top site and you should really avoid it because this is supported by that knucklehead Bill Gates. Okay, so this will dumb you down. This definitely is not going to get you anywhere with understanding the concept of number. Let's say goodbye to this garbage. The next one is this number concepts developmental math group. So we've got, let's see, it says students in kindergarten, etc. Must develop a sound understanding of number concept to be successful mathematicians. Number concepts are divided into 4 categories: word, quality, symbol, and relationships. Okay, again, as you can see, it's total excrement. Okay, there's no way you can teach this to a kindergarten or a grade 1 or even an adult. You can't even teach this to an adult because it's BS. Okay, and if you continue to read it, it's everything but what you need to know about the concept of number. So let's say goodbye to this as well. Now here's another one. This side is kind of funny because it says what is a number sense, and this person here who wrote is obviously one of the thousands of stupid teachers, math teachers. So what is a number sense? First of all, we don't sense numbers, people. We realize numbers. Number has got nothing to do with sensing anything. He says number sense refers to a group of key math abilities. Crap. There is, that doesn't tell me anything about number. It includes the ability to understand quantities and concepts like more or less. Okay, so here's the first sort of sane hint that he might have something to say. But then this third bullet point here really just makes one cringe. It says some people have a stronger number sense than others. It's total hand-waving bullshit, excuse my language. Okay, now then he says number sense involves understanding quantities, grasping concepts like more and less, larger and smaller, understanding the order of numbers. Well, how can you even understand the order of numbers if you don't know what they are, right? Understanding symbols, garbage. You don't need to understand any symbols. You can assign the concept of number without using any symbols whatsoever. Okay, it comes from the measure of a ratio, as we'll see shortly. Then he says making number comparisons. So immediately this becomes very high level, and there's no idea of what is a number or what a number is. And then we immediately jump into the operations, adding and subtracting. Imagine a pile of 7 beads, then take away 2 of them. People with poor number sense might not realize that. People with poor number sense? There is no person with poor number sense. That's just garbage. Every person is capable of understanding the concept of number if taught the correct way. Okay? that sentence there is just, I mean, it just tells me right away that the guy is a complete moron. The number of beats has shrunk. That is, again, BS. There is not a single person on this planet who would not realize that if you take away beads from a pile of beads, that the number of beads has shrunk. Everybody would realize that without even understanding the concept of number. And then subtracting the 2 beads means that the group of 7 is now a group of 5. So, all right, so this guy probably wrote a nice little cornerstone project for his Master of Education. He's a dimwit, but believe it or not, they're all dimwits. I mean, I haven't met one math teacher in the mainstream who really deserve to be in a classroom. The majority of them should never have stepped foot in a classroom because they're morons. So let's get rid of this. Right, now this one here is from a college professor. So this one here comes from Math UCSD. So that's the University of San Diego. So he says, this one, by the way, is really the how not to of all of them. And in this chapter, we will explore the early approaches to counting, arithmetic, and the understanding of numbers. So a lot of BS, rambling, irrelevant topics, and then representing numbers and basic arithmetic. And notice how he immediately goes back to these little symbols, because math professors are really even more ignorant of the number concept than math teachers, believe it or not. They have the least knowledge of what a number is. And so immediately you can see that what this guy here is leading to is the concept of a set, all right, where he says 3 is equal to 3 of these, and 25 these, 49 these. And of course, gradually, as you move, here you go. I was going to tell you he uses a set theory. And this is at little strokes, little lines, like cavemen, because math professors are cavemen, to be honest with you. 3 sheep, and you have purchased 4 sheep. See? So they're the biggest morons on the planet. And multiplication. By the way, they wouldn't know how to do multiplication because, unless, of course, the Greeks had shown how it can be done. So the way 3 times 5 is 5 plus 5 is 15. It's actually not really what multiplication means, okay? Because multiplication is defined in terms of division. So you start off first with division, and of course there's one method for any type of fraction, not just the fractions 3 and 5, and they are fractions, by the way. Don't you ever tell anybody that a natural number is not a fraction, because if you do, you're a moron. It is a fraction, okay? And I'll let you think about that. So, and I mean, you carry on here, and you can see that immediately it tends into a lot of garbage, which leads to high-level stuff that they don't really understand, but they've learned to work with, okay? So here we go. There were also bad fractions. So he says 1/3 is equal to that. Well, of course, it's not, but... and then, of course, look what he says here. He says that addition is given by... No, it's not given by that. It's not defined that way. It is this. And how is it this? It's this from geometry. And I'll place a link to my topic on fractions from geometry. You cannot define this any other way. It is derived that way from geometry. Thank goodness the Greeks, the ancient Greeks, were brilliant beyond belief. Okay, so this typically is the set theory approach, and the primitive caveman garbage that you see here and also in set theory came before the Greeks, okay? And finally, the ancient Greeks put everything in order. And what I've done here is I've written an article here for you to understand, and I've done it in English and Greek. My Greek may not be as good as English, but I tried. So number is the most important concept, and you can read this article. I'll place a link to it. In just 2 pages, you understand what the concept of number is. And you don't need a number sense, because that's just BS, okay? Symbols and all that crap, that's got nothing to do with numbers. You can call them anything you like. That's got nothing to do with the concept of number. Very well then, if you're not already a subscriber, become one, and tell your friends about the channel. And to those who've contributed at my GoFundMe site, thanks you very, very much. I really appreciate it. So I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. It annoys me that every Tom, Dick, and moron gets to do a presentation on TED or some other main forum, and they have no idea what is number or what is mathematics after that reason. And I, who am the greatest mathematician, don't get even a chance to give a presentation on what number means and where it came from. And of course, all the main journals will reject me because I've been libeled and labeled a crank. Okay, and yet I am the only one who actually understands what is the concept of number. Wow. Okay, so as you can see, it's terribly frustrating when I have so much to say and so much to offer, and these morons who are called mathematics professors and math journal editors and math teachers do not pay attention. You could benefit so much from me. Well, that's pretty much it. I'm out of breath now. My name is John Gabriel, and this is